Dear students, let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 7th October 2017. The first article, GST Council gives relief to exporters small business. In the last few weeks, you have seen a problem the exporters are facing. That is, their input credit is not released on time and it is affecting their liquidity. Now, the GST Council, it has provided a relief to them. That is, till March 31st, 2018, they are exempted from GST. And a e-wallet is being developed where their input credits are directly credited onto this e-wallet account. With regard to the small business, the definition of small business here is less than 1.5 crore. A quarterly filing of GST returns is sufficient. So it means the relief also is been given to the small traders in this. Supreme Court lifts veil on collegium recommendations. So collegium is a mechanism for the appointment of judges to higher judiciary, that is the Supreme Court and the High Courts in India. So with regard to their appointment, transfers, promotions, everything, the collegium makes the decisions and its decisions are secretive. For the first time, the Supreme Court has kept all these decisions with the stated reasons on its website. It is a strong initiative towards transparency. Why can't hanging be stopped? So carefully observe this article. He is not talking about capital punishment. He is talking about a painful capital punishment through hanging. The Supreme Court has asked to the government, why can't we take the advantage of developments in medicine so that we can have a painless death for the convicted? That is what the Supreme Court's question is. Now, let's come to the central page. So the first article, the symbols of deeper stirring. So this is about recent Lathi charge against the girl students in BHU. The BHU is the second oldest university after Allahabad University in India. So Allahabad University was established to provide for the English ethics or English values to Indians. On the other hand, BHU wanted to protect the Indian tradition, culture and values. Now, these universities started degenerating from 1960s when the politics are active with the student life. From then onwards, to an extent, the quality of the teaching and faculty has come down over here. And second aspect, from very beginning or from their existence, they are known for gender discrimination and also casteism. Even today, caste plays a major role in appointment of the faculty. So, the opposition from the girls is a gender assertion with regard to the access and rights they have to enjoy on the premises. So it's a new tone of new tone against the gender discrimination. The smoke signals from China. The Communist Party Congress is going to be held in China, which is generally held once in 5 years. So Xi Jinping is expected to get another 5 years of term. So the structure of Communist Party of China is like this. There is a central party committee. From there comes the Politburo, and this Politburo has the standing committee, and this is the power center in China. So it elects its leader, the Communist Party president. He is going to be the premier of the country, who is Xi Jinping now. And the Xi Jinping has become all powerful in China in the last 5 years. When he started as the leader of Communist Party, the supporters are not many for him. But slowly, three-pronged approach has made him to gain the strongest position ever seen. The first is the corruption drive, anti-corruption drive, in which most of the strong opponent leaders, these are arrested on corruption charges, and a tight control over the media. And the third important thing is restructuring of the military. So this three-pronged approach has made him the most admired leader in China today, and the opposition is minimal. So, reflecting this, he is declared as the core leader. The status was given only to the Mao, Deng Xiaoping. And further to this, There is something called Xi Jinping thought, as like Mao's thought, is expected to be published in the Constitution of Communist Party of China this year. And on the international front, is Belt and Road Initiative is to exemplify the China's role on the global arena. So remember here, the Deng Xiaoping wanted China to be an underdog and to focus on its economic development. But today China is very different and assertive. So Communist Party of China standing behind Xi Jinping will provide much strength to his arms, and China is going to play a strong global role after this Communist Party Congress. That's what we can assess from this. Law, faith and unreason. So this is about the recent superstitious law, anti-superstitious law passed by the Karnataka government. So in a modern scientific and rational society, the superstition has no place. But the superstition mostly flows from the religion in this country, and it will be subjected to the reasonable restrictions that are existing under Article 25 of the Constitution. So health, grounds of morality, so these can be the basis for fighting this superstition. An artist of the world. This is about Nobel Prize in Literature. The Japanese, that is Briton-Japanese novelist Kazuo Ishiguro, he has got the Nobel Prize in Literature. More than that, what is his style, etc., is not required to us. And coming to the news page, the Sita Raman to visit Sikkim today. So after the Doklam standoff, the People's Liberation Army, it did not move away from the Doklam. It is stationed just few meters from the standoff site. And also the road laying equipment, earth movers are still existing over there. Opposition started questioning the Prime Minister on his discussions with the Xi Jinping in ending the Doklam standoff. The most important for me, Shah speaks for tribals on blog. So I'm not interested in what Amit Shah is speaking, but what are the programs for the betterment of the tribals. So the first thing is, the tribals, though they were offered the self-rule after independence, they never really enjoyed that in India. So for their development, Government of India has enacted Janajati Kalyan Bandhu Yojana. And second is, Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act, which was passed in 2015, is important to generate the funds for their development. According to this Minerals and Mines Development and Regulation Act, 10% of the royalty shall go to District Mineral Fund, and this money will be spent on Prime Minister's program or Prime Minister Mining Areas Development Fund. So this will be finally used for the development of tribal regions in the country. And then, thoughts, piracy in Gulf of Aden. In your map, see where this Gulf of Aden exists. And let's get into the next page. So the shell companies, so 5,800 companies have 13,140 suspicious accounts. After demonetization, most of the people have used the shell companies to deposit and withdraw their money from them. The next page has many important news. The Nobel Peace Prize goes to ICAN. ICAN stands for International Campaign to Abolish the Nuclear Weapons. So it is working to abolish the nuclear weapons since 70 years. And this Vienna-based organization is remarkable in passing nuclear abolition treaty, though all the nuclear weapon states never signed it. So the ICAN getting a Nobel Prize is continuation of the tradition of Nobel Committee to abolish the nuclear weapons from this world. Trump said to decertify Iran nuclear agreement. Iran nuclear agreement is also called as Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. So in this, the President of United States of America, okay, let's understand this first. In this, Iran is the party along with 6 other Western nations. The 6 other countries are USA, UK, Germany, France, China and Russia. So now China and Russia are very close to Iran. And IAEA is expected to implement this particular nuclear verification in Iran. So US has passed a law in 2015. So with regard to the abolition of sanctions against this Iran nuclear deal. But now, according to this law, President of United States of America has to certify that Iran is abiding by the nuclear deal. So if he do not certify that, the matter goes to the Congress, which has to take a decision within 60 days to reimpose the sanctions. Now President Trump don't want to recertify the Iran nuclear deal. It means sanctions can be reimposed. It will break the credibility of US diplomacy in the international world or international arena. The second is the West Asia is expected to be destabilized further. The strong allies of US, that is Saudi Arabia and Israel, are opposed to Iran nuclear deal from very first. So the sectarian conflict between Saudis and Iranians is expected to be deepened, and this proxy war is going to be reflected in Syria too. And the third thing is, China and Russia are very close to Iran now, and they may not be willing to strongly implement the sanctions against the Iran. So these are the consequences we can expect from that. Now, in the last page, I gave you the notes which will be available to you at the likes.in/civils prep. Thank you very much and all the best.